I guess I really don't know what Christmas is all about. Isn't there anyone who knows what Christmas is all about?
Hello everybody, welcome to another day of vlogmas. I honestly have lost track of my days, so I don't know what day this is gonna be. I am gonna do a little get ready with me life update kind of video. So we are gonna get ready. Excuse my extremely acne prone skin. I am almost 2 years off birth control. It's destroyed my face. PCOS life. So ignore that. But I figured I needed to do like a little update on like my career and just kind of like where we're at in life. That's what we're gonna do. And I'll kind of step you through my routine, even though it's nothing special. I don't know shit about makeup anymore. I start with, well, I obviously clean my face. I use vitamin C in the morning and I put on moisturizer already, but then whenever I come in here, I always start with sunscreen, and I use this. It's from Sephora and it's pretty cheap. So I got my handy dandy makeup kit. We are getting ready tonight to go to the Nutcracker, so I'm gonna do a little bit of a fancier makeup than my like everyday. Then I use this primer, the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer, and I focus that around my T-zone, which is where my makeup tends to like fade off the fastest. Basically the biggest life update right now is my job. So that's been a thing. That's been a whole thing. So basically I was, as you guys saw in my like first week of nursing, starting my nursing job vlog, I was working at an inpatient oncology unit. Also next up I'm using the L'Oreal Lumi Glotion. I like to use it under my foundation. So I was working at an inpatient oncology unit, and when I interviewed for the position, I was told it was oncology with a little med-surg overflow, but that I would be mostly working with a lot of women's health cancers, so breast cancer and, you know, uterine, all that kind of thing, and then like prostate cancer and basically anything solid tumor, so your sarcomas, and we had a lot of rectal, yeah, so basically anyone that had like a solid tumor oncology, and that I would have a lot of pre-op and like post-op patients from like surgeries to deal with their cancers, so which was true. I had a lot of DEEP patients, which is a type of mastectomy and reconstruction surgery, and then I had a lot of like hysterectomies and some other like random surgeries in there, but we took took care of a lot of those. And then we did have a very few amount of chemo patients on the floor, but we did have chemo patients. What I was not expecting, which is the way the interview sounded, was that 90% of our floor would be med-surg overflow versus oncology. We were at a point where most of our floor was off-service patients, and that wasn't something that I wanted to do when I started nursing. When I started applying for nursing jobs, I like put med-surg on my like bottom of my totem pole. Like I wanted absolutely nothing to do with med-surg, and I knew that because through nursing school and like clinicals and all of that, I just knew that I would be like so incredibly unhappy if I was on a med-surg floor. Right now I'm using the Revolution Conceal and Fix in Light Sand. I just kind of put that on my problem areas before I put on foundation, just to give it a little more coverage. So when I took this job, I assumed like, you know, it would be like my oncology floor that I used to work on when I did my externship my last semester of nursing school, which did have some med-surg overflow, but it genuinely was some. Like you might have one med-surg patient to your other 4 or 5 oncology patients, and I didn't mind that. I just didn't need or didn't want to do the entire med-surg thing. For foundation, I use the IT CC cream in light, so I'm gonna go put that on, and I just use this e.l.f. buffing foundation brush. that's what I assumed it would be, and it didn't end up being like that at all. We had a ton of off-service patients, and if we did have oncology patients, it was a lot more like my goal as an oncology nurse is to be treating cancer. Like, I want to be right in deep with the treatments of oncology, not of everything else. And a lot of our patients, even if they were on service, you know, and had cancer, they could come to our floor because they had cancer but they weren't treating it, or they were, you know, on hospice but having other issues, or, you know, they had cancer and they were treating it somewhere else but they had a GI bleed. So on our floor we got literally a little bit of everything. I took care of like every single system in your body, and it was a lot of treating med-surg issues or issues that were another specialty, and that's not really what I wanted for my career. So I ended up becoming extremely unhappy, just like hating my job, and I like got to a point where I was second guessing being a nurse at all, and that really broke my heart because I spent a lot of time and energy and money on nursing school. So I felt like, you know, I didn't want to give up, but I was headed in that direction. Another thing that I just didn't love about my job at the hospital was just that it was at a hospital as inpatient. I just wasn't loving the treatment that we would get at inpatient. I felt like we were like not appreciated, and our staffing was awful, as is everywhere else, you know, but I can deal with that. But, you know, it meant 6 patients, which is just a lot, and I felt like things were just a joke a lot of the time. So like Nurses Week, and I know there's so many stories like this out there, but it was like Nurses Week, we got a pen and like a water bottle, and I'm not saying like a nice reusable water bottle, I'm saying like a plastic water bottle, and little pieces of candy. Like, it just felt like, I don't know. And then the third thing that really pushed me out of my job was that in March, which was about a month after I started this job, I got diagnosed with PCOS. So if you don't know what that is, it is polycystic ovarian syndrome, and I know that a lot of freaking people have it, and that is really sad, but it's a very real thing. And it, you know, I'm going back in with my concealer now to just cover up anything. I was dealing with a lot of like health issues, like I had no energy. The thing that like struck me the most was that I had missed my period for like 4 months. That just didn't feel right to me. So I, you know, went and got it checked out. All my like labs came back normal, of course, like basic labs. So then I ended up going to a gynecologist and had them check all of my hormone levels, and my testosterone was like through the roof, which is, you know, a leading factor of PCOS is your testosterone is so high. So I opted to get a ultrasound, and they found, you know, multiple cysts on each of my ovaries. So it was kind of determined that I had PCOS. So to treat PCOS, I decided not to do the I didn't want to take medications. I just felt like I went off birth control for a reason, and I didn't want to go back on it, and I didn't want to mess with my body anymore. So I had just decided to go to a nutritionist and treat it, I guess, more like holistically. And so that's what I've been doing since then. One thing that I have determined since going to my nutritionist is how important not just what you eat and exercise, and, you know, like I've swapped some things out in our house that like affect your hormones and things like that. Not so much that, but how important like sleep and a regular schedule is. So working night shift was not ideal, as it was extremely messing up my my like just my time clock, my, you know, natural body response to, and my cortisol was all messed up from working at night, because I would switch back and forth. When I had my days off, I would be, you know, back to days, and then I'd go back to nights, and it was just a whole thing. So I decided to leave. I just felt like night shift was truly destroying me, and I needed to make a change, or I wasn't going to be seeing the results that I wanted to in my treatment plan with my nutritionist, which required me to have a normal person's schedule and sleep at night and wake up during the day. So I opted to leave, and that's pretty much the gist why. And it was unbelievable when I switched off of night shift how different I felt. My energy levels are so much better now. Like when I was on night shift, I just felt like on my days off, I had no choice but to like sleep, because I was just so incredibly exhausted and I couldn't get anything done. So then I felt like my chores at home weren't getting done. I didn't want to spend time with my fiance, like just normal life things. I, you know, ended up job searching, and now I'm at this wonderful company and I love my job so incredibly much. Officially, I'm an infusion nurse. So I started working at this company that is like an outpatient oncology doctor's office, and I work out back in infusion. So I take everybody that needs, you know, some sort of infusion or chemo shots or anything like that. So I'm much more in the process of, you know, treating cancer patients. I'm like right up front learning about all of these medications and, you know, how they're helping these people get better, and watching their symptoms, and I'm getting to know them so well. And that was another thing that I was missing so much of when I was working at the hospital, because I love talking to my patients and I love hanging out with them. And when I was at the hospital, because I had so many patients and so many things to do, I didn't have time to really connect with them. And so I was like missing that part of what I wanted to be a nurse, you know, was for connecting with people, building relationships with my patients, and I wasn't getting that. Now I do. I see the same people like weekly, monthly, like daily sometimes, and I just love my patients to pieces. So I now, instead of working at night, I work Monday to Friday, and Monday to Thursday I work 8 to 4:30, and then on Fridays I work 8 to 1. So it's like a dream of a schedule. It definitely has been getting some used to getting up early, but I, you know, make it work because it's so worth it. And I love the company I work for, and I love my coworkers, and everyone's just been so kind and helping me learn and making me feel welcome. It's just been so absolutely wonderful. So it's exactly where I needed to be, and I'm loving it. Basically, I just went in with the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and then I went in with the Revolution Under Eye Concealer, but I use a dark color and I use it as my contour. And now I'm just going in with my Laura Mercier translucent powder and just kind of using this little Real Techniques setting brush and kind of setting under my eyes and in places that I crease a lot, and then I'll go in and bake a little. I only put setting powder where I don't put another powder. So I'll go in with my bronzer where I contoured, and so I'll avoid those spots. And then I'm gonna go in, I know this is like so old and awful, but the Shade and Light Kat Von D palette. I know she's canceled, but here we are. Then I go in with this Maybelline Fit Me blush in Rose. I just do it on my cheeks and a little on my nose and a little on my forehead. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows off camera, but basically I bounce between a couple different products for my brows, and I'll show you kind of what I'm gonna do today. But I go between the e.l.f. Brow Lift with the e.l.f., you know, little brush, the NYX tinted brow mascara, and then to fill in I use the Morphe micro brow pencil. So I'm gonna go ahead and do those. Okay, we're back. The brows are snatched. Now I'm going to, I think, do a setting spray. So I use the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist, and I'm literally almost out. Okay, now I gotta do my eyes, so I think I'll probably go in back with my concealer just a little bit. Now I'm gonna go in with my Naked 2 Basics palette, just to kind of set all of that. I have the oldest and most basic makeup. So yeah, basically that's the update on my whole career. If anyone has any questions about my inpatient experience, my outpatient experience, please let me know. I will comment back to people because I know a lot of my nursing related vlogs blow up. I think a lot of people are interested in these things, especially for new grads. But I'm about to hit my 1 year mark as a nurse, which is wild. On the other hand of things, there's not a whole lot going on. I feel like that's been the biggest thing. David is currently graduated. As you guys heard in the Charleston vlog, he has graduated his flight training and he officially has all of his certifications to be a professional pilot, and right now he is a certified flight instructor, and he'll be doing that for a little while to build some hours. Some other updates: our wedding is in 6 months. We are working on a lot of things, getting prepared. The biggest thing coming up right now is that our bachelorette is in 3 weeks. We're doing a combined bachelorette party, and it'll be right in the beginning of the new year, so you guys will see that vlog pretty quick after Vlogmas ends. I'm so incredibly excited for that. We're going to Orlando. It's gonna be a blast. We're gonna have all 14 people from our wedding party there, so that should be really, really fun. Some more life updates that I can give you guys. We are just trying to build our careers right now. We are having a lot of fun still living here in Charlotte, still exploring a lot. That's basically everything going on. Basically dealing with my PCOS, which is getting so much better. I actually got labs done again in November, and my testosterone is down to 26 and it was at 97. So I would say what I'm doing is working. I've lost almost 15 pounds since the beginning of the year, since I started working with my nutritionist, and still going. So the wedding weight loss is going hard. That's going really well. If you guys want a more in-depth video about what I'm doing for PCOS, I am gonna do a vlog next week. That's kind of like a day in my life in my job, and how I stick to my health eating plan with working and just exercise and everything that I implement. But if you guys have any more questions between now and then, let me know because I can answer them in that vlog. But yeah, I feel like I'm doing really well. Beanween is doing great. She loves it here. She loves the weather. She does not like being cold, so it's definitely her place to be, is in the south. I'm gonna finish my makeup because I really don't have much else to tell you guys. I feel like I just needed to address everything going on, that I switched careers kind of, and that, you know, that was a big change. So I just wanted you guys to understand where I was in my life and everything going on lately. I'm gonna finish my makeup for the Nutcracker off camera, and then I'll show you guys the finished look, and then we will be done with this vlog. I will see you guys when I finish this look. All right, I feel like the lighting has dramatically changed, but I officially finished everything but lip. I'm just gonna do that later because I still need to like fix this mane of hair, and so I'll put it on later. But we're gonna end off with some more setting spray. Get her all locked and loaded for the night. A little closer. That's what my makeup looks like for tonight, with my acne and all. It's a good time. I like it. I think it came out cute. I don't really do anything crazy for my makeup really ever, so it's just kind of how it is. And there we go. That's the end of the vlog. Again, if you guys have any questions about my like life update and my job, or my experience at my old job, or anything like that, or about PCOS or living in Charlotte, just comment it down below and I will respond. But I gotta go and finish today's vlog and get ready to go out to dinner and go to the Nutcracker tonight. So I'm really excited to see it. I love dance, so I am looking forward to it. But I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!